Hey everyone, welcome back to Bleach Brave Souls, and check it out guys, I got a little BBS screen in the bottom corner there. I don't know what purpose it serves, it just looked cool when I started making this video, so I left it on there. But today's video, I want to talk about what I think is the #1 improvement that needs to happen in Bleach Brave Souls. And I'm not going to talk about, oh, we need to have higher rates on summoning, or we need to get more orbs from events and stuff like that. Those are discussions for an entirely different video. The improvements I'm talking about are general quality of life improvements. And the #1 improvement to eliminate the tediousness of the game and the annoyances, some of the annoyances at least, is to create separate databases for each game mode. So let me explain what I mean, guys. There are currently a couple of different game modes in Bleach Brave Souls. We have the single player missions, we have the co-op missions, we have PvP, we have guild quests, and we have Sankaimon. And in the future, we're going to have extreme boss fights as well. So that's yet another game mode that they're adding to Bleach Brave Souls. And the problem is, guys, that the user interface isn't keeping up with these additions. Like, let me tell you what I mean now. If we go into the quests, and I go to a single-player event that I want to do, as you know, we'll have the various teams we can set up. We'll have, let me switch over to this. We'll have, 5 teams you can see on the top there, and they each have their set of characters with different sets of equipment. However you want to set them up, you can. But, guys, this is not enough teams, because this setup, these 5 teams have to cover all the different content in the game. That includes PvP, that includes guild quests, and all the other stuff that they may be adding in the future. So the #1 thing, basically, we need more teams, or we need the teams to be specific to the game mode that we're playing. So by that I mean we have to have a specific 5 teams that are unique to single player missions. And if we go into PvP, I'd like to have another 5 teams that are specific to PvP only. Because if you look at my setup right now, guys, and I'm sure a lot of you players out there are in a similar situation to me. I have my team 1, and that's just the team I use for generic grinding or whatever, doing events, doing just different stuff, leveling characters. If I need to level a character, I'll put him in team 1. Team 2 is always my guild quest team, so that's going to be locked in there for the next 3 or 4 days. Team 3, PvP, and this is my only team that is a PvP setup. Team 4 is the crystal team, and team 5 is the coin team. So basically for me, guys, my coin team, my crystal team never change. I always have team 3 as a PvP team, I always have team 2 as a guild quest team, and I have very little freedom to move stuff around. I only have this one team that I can really mess around with, team 1. And it's really not enough, because PvP alone, I mean, I could come up with at least 3 or 4 different configurations for PvP that I would like to try if I had more team slots to use. Unfortunately, we only have 5 team slots, and that's across all game modes. So right there, guys, we need more team slots, unless they do something where they separate the databases. And what I mean by separating the databases is these 5 teams you see here will only apply to the single player mode. If we go into a different mode, versus battle for example, they could give us another 5 teams that are blank right here, and that don't affect the single player mode, if you guys catch my drift. So here, this should just be all PvP setup teams, I mean, because for example, sometimes I like to change the order of my PvP team. Sometimes I like to have the Retsu in the first position, and the Walk in the 3rd position, or I want to have Chad in the 1st position. That situation comes up all the time, because you want to match up your lead character to their lead character, and you can't always do that unless you scrap your crystal team or something, so you have more slots. So basically, I think that we should have a specific set of teams for each game mode. That's #1, guys. And #2, to go along with that, is I don't think that if I make changes to my character's equipment in the PvP interface, I would like them not to affect my setups in the PvE, in the single player missions. So basically what I'm saying, for example, if I want Yuwak set up for PvP, like I have him here, I want it to stay that way even if I go into the single player mode, right here. Oh, not Senkaimon, excuse me guys, I'm clicking the wrong stuff. I'm trying to explain this as concisely as I can. If I go into single player mode, I want to be able to set up Yuwak in this mode with a different set of equipment without affecting the PvP equipment, if you understand what I mean, guys. Because it's a pain in the ass to keep switching equipment back and forth. We have to, you have to go all the way into the menus. Like if I want to switch Yuwak's equipment here, I have to go to Yuwak, I have to go to Augment, I have to go to Accessories, then I got to scroll through my list of accessories, I got to filter it by orange, and then I got to find what I want to change, put it all on, do the same thing for character links, put it all on, and it's just a cumbersome process. And then when I want to go back to PvP, say I want to go back to PvP and use my PvP team, I'm going to have to do the same process again to change the links and accessories and all of that. And it's just, I feel like there's a better solution to that. And, in my opinion, it's to make the databases separate. The way, for example, Senkaimon is. When you change a character's setup in the Senkaimon quest, it doesn't affect their setup in the single player mode or the PvP mode. And if they could just do that for every game mode, it would be, a godsend. It would cut out so much of the annoyance of, switching out links, accessories, and characters. Another example I have, guys, is I never use this Heart Orihime that is linked to Retsu. This Heart Orihime here, I would like to use this character more, but I don't want to go through the annoyance of pulling her off Retsu, putting equipment on her, and then putting her back on Retsu when I want to do PvP. I just don't want to deal with it, so I use other characters. And that is a problem I have with quite a few units, that are just they're just locked to PvP, so I don't have access to them without going through a big hassle. Some of my equipment too, like for example my green gold chappie, it's locked to Retsu right here. Sometimes I might want to use that in a single player mission, but I can't because I don't want to take it off Retsu and go through the process of switching. So I end up just using a character that that's more convenient for me. And I feel like it shouldn't be that way, guys. You shouldn't be using characters just because they're convenient. You should be using the characters you want to use in the game mode you want to use them. So if I want to use my gold chappie in PvE, I should be able to do that without it affecting my PvP team or my guild quest team or my co-op unit or whatever. I feel like it's a really big issue that they need to fix, especially for veteran players. New players might not notice it as much because they don't have as many accessories and good links, but definitely for older players will notice it. I specifically don't even use certain characters because I don't want to break up my PvP team, for example. I would like to use Chad in certain autoing situations for single player, but I don't because I don't want to change out the links and accessories, and then I forgot what I had on him for PvP, and I got to, play a juggling act with my different sets of accessories. The simple solution, I don't know if it's simple from a technical standpoint, but the solution that I have in mind is just separate stuff for your quests, separate stuff for PvP, separate stuff for guild quests, and separate stuff for co-op. This might be an issue. I'm not a programmer, but I can see maybe that there's like a database storage issue, maybe, because if you have like a couple, maybe a million accounts, and you just you instantly triple the amount of data that you have to store for each account, maybe that's like a server storage problem. I don't know, guys, but there's other games that do stuff like this, so I don't believe it's something that's beyond the means of KLab to implement. And hopefully it will be something that they look into at least in one of the next updates, guys, because the game is not the same as it was back 3 years ago. There's more stuff now, and there's more stuff we got to juggle. There's more accessories, there's more character links, there's more options you have for building characters. So it would be great to just have these game modes be separate. Also, along those lines, guys, it would be great to have a button where you go into like an edit character, like here, an augment, and then maybe something that says use most recent setup. So if this ends up getting screwed up somehow, I can just click a button right here maybe, and it'll just use the last known configuration of my character. Much in the same way they do for Senkaimon. In Senkaimon, you can go to a quest and press a button that says use last setup, or I believe it says clearance history specifically, and it'll set up your character with the last links and accessories you used when you had a successful run on that particular stage. So I would like to see that in BBS quite a bit, guys. I know this video might have come out of nowhere, but as I was playing today, I noticed that I kind of want to use Orihime in a quest, but it's too much of a pain in the ass to break up my PvP team and reset all the links and accessories just to play for a couple of stages, and then put all this stuff back on when I want to go back to PvP. And the same thing for Guild Quest. Guild Quest, a lot of the times, if I have a team set up for Guild Quest, I don't change it. Because it's too much of a hassle. So, like, my good equipment will be locked onto my Guild Quest team for 3 days. Unless I want to, go through the hassle of changing the equipment to do IZ, for example. That's actually an example that happened to me today. I wanted to use my a certain character for the Guild Quest, but you build the Guild Quest character in a different way that you would build the character for IZ. So, I didn't want to deal with it, so I ended up using a character I didn't really want to use, and it's just not the way the game should be, in my opinion. Separate databases is the bottom line of this video, guys. I hope I explained it well, my thoughts. I kind of rambled on a little bit. I did have a list of topics I wanted to cover, but I didn't really stick to it at all. So, anyway, hopefully you guys know what I'm saying. If you're a new player to this game, new to my channel, you might not know what the hell Cowman's talking about. But the basic summary of it is we need separate databases for each game mode so we can minimize the amount of link switching, accessory switching, and character switching that we have to do just to play the freaking game. Alright, so let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.